Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 17th, 2025 meeting of the Castle County Commissioners. If you would, please join me in a moment of silent prayer followed by a pledge of allegiance. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Public comments.
Mr. Chairman, we do have one speaker. I'll read the introduction. Each speaker will speak from the podium and begin their remarks by giving their name and stating whether or not they are residents of the county. Comments will be directed to the full board. Speaker comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes during the public comment period. Speakers must be courteous in their language and presentation. Personal attacks will not be tolerated. The Board of Commissioners or the administration will not provide responses during public comments period or in the same meeting. John K. Roberts.
This will be real quick. Next week, you all be getting my application and resume for county manager's position. But what I want to tell you is I'd be willing to help you all out with your finance organization too. There's two processes and that can be implemented in the finance organization. One is the Financial Accounting Standards Board. That's a standardization for all corporations and businesses in setting up their finance organization. But what a lot of people don't know, there's another board called the Government Accounting Standards Board. It parallels that, and that's the one for federal, state, and local governments, how they're supposed to set up their financial organizations. And it gives you the codes that you're supposed to use in setting up the different accounts in your county so that things get processed correctly and billed to the correct organization. And you can also check to make sure that people that are getting paid actually work here. I worked in Norfolk for a little while, and we found a person been paid for 18 years, lived in Florida, never worked for the city of Norfolk. And then I found some of that in some other counties I've been working in, and I can help get your finance organization, get everything balanced. I am a resident of Caswell County. I've been here for 35 years. So anyway, I appreciate any help you give me on when the Association of County Managers gives you my resume and my application. Thank you. That's all I had to say.
All right. Recognitions, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. I'd like to recognize former Commissioner David Wren for 8 years of service on the Castle County Board of Commissioners back in the 90s. And most recently, he labored through health problems and was elected to the commission back in November. And we all deserved a big thank you.
Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On the 14th of this month, I had the privilege to attend the Caswell County Employee Service Award Day. I think everybody was there, just seated. It was a very nice ceremony. We had employees receiving service awards from 5 years to 45 years. And I would just like to thank the ones that put that on. It was very nice. Thank you. That's all.
Commissioner Ingram?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. I just want to recognize this is Social Workers Month. And I just want to recognize and honor the contributions that the social workers and their dedication to improving lives. That's all I have.
Thank you. I too would like to recognize former Commissioner Wren, and appreciate his service. Please want his family to know that. David and I might not have always agreed, but we tried to always leave as friends. Okay, moving on. Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Smith. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Rose. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Consent agenda, which consists of the minutes from the February the 3rd and February the 17th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Have a motion from Commissioner Ingram,
Second.
second from Commissioner Smith. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all. Discussion items, Ms. Pascal, filling the vacant seat from District 4, I think it is, to win Ms. Ethel Gwynn's former seat.
Yes, sir. So effective February 28th, Commissioner Gwynn resigned from the Caswell County Board of Commissioners. The Board of Commissioners has rules of procedures that mirror the state statute, and you have that information in your agenda packet. In summary, the board must fill Commissioner Gwynn's vacancy by selecting a member of the same political party who resides in her district. Consult with the political party regarding a nomination, but you're not required to appoint the party's nomination and fill the vacancy within 60 days or the matter moves to the Clerk of Superior Court. You have received a nomination from the Democratic Party. Chairman Yarborough asked me to email that out late last week. So the discussion is whether you want to move forward with filling the seat or hold off.
Thank you, Ms. Pascal. As the county manager stated, I received an email from the chair of the Caswell County Democratic Party. They would recommend Mr. Brian Totten to fill that unexpired term of District 4. And I had a chance to speak with Mr. Totten this afternoon, and I think after talking to him, he has spoken with each of you. Am I correct? Okay, okay. Any discussion on this matter?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
other than just the recommendation that was given, and me speaking with Mr. Totten, I just feel like he would be an asset to this.
Thank you, Commissioner Ingram. Mr. Totten has shown interest in serving on this board. He ran for an at-large seat in 24. He wasn't successful, but he has shown interest in, personally, I like to see someone that has shown interest in serving to fill a vacant seat. Any other comments or questions? Do I have a motion that we appoint Mr. Totten to fill?
I make a motion.
I have a motion from Mr. Smith,
Second.
second from Commissioner Ingram. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of appointing Brian Totten to fill the unexpired term of District 4 seat, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That like sign, motion carries. And I informed Mr. Totten this afternoon that if the board did vote to appoint him, that he would be sworn in at our first meeting in April, which is the 7th, I believe is right. Ms.
Correct.
Pascal. Could you make contact with the clerk where he can give the oath of office, please, at the next meeting?
I will contact myself, but yeah.
Thank you. Okay,
Oh, you
next
mean the clerk of court? I'm so sorry. You meant the clerk of court.
I did. What did I say?
Thank you. You did say the clerk.
Okay, okay. You know, telling what might come up sometimes. Number 9, discussion on ordinance to ban intentional release of helium balloons.
So we've received a couple of requests. I think the board was copied on the email. And the first request was that we adopt a local ordinance. Now they're pursuing statewide legislation and they're requesting the board's support of the legislation. I do have concerns because I'm not sure how we would enforce this locally.
Okay. You've all had a chance to look over this in your agenda packet and you've heard the county manager. Any comments or discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
is this primarily an environmental issue?
Apparently, it's not good for wildlife.
Any other questions or comments? Anyone have any interest in pursuing this? All right, we'll move on. Item number 10. Motion to approve budget amendment number 20 and memorandum of agreement with North Carolina Forest Service to construct a storage shed for cooperative extension equipment. Pass.
So in '24, Cooperative Extension received a Golden Leaf Foundation grant for $120,000 to be used for agriculture technology rental program to purchase innovative equipment to be rented to small and beginning farmers. Approximately $14,811 remains of the grant and can be used. A lawful or allowable use of the grant is to build a storage shed to house the equipment, which has been an issue. And in talking to NC Forestry, they were going to initially so Cooperative Extension talked with Forestry. They were going to initially build storage shed, a carport type shed on Forestry's property. But NC Forestry has agreed to provide $10,000 to the project if they build a joint storage shed. They received a quote for $24,811, and Extension is also using some of their unrestricted or not general fund dollars, but money budgeted in their special revenues. So they have enough money with all those combined revenue sources, and we would just need to do an MOA with Forestry and have the board approve the budget amendment. Be glad to answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
will the existing shed remain? Will it be replaced or will this be in addition to?
In addition to, that's correct, right?
Any other questions? Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the budget amendment
Make a motion to approve.
A motion from Commissioner Rose, second from
Second.
Commissioner Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Okay, Budget Amendment 21.
The county received a grant for capital improvements to our Viper network, which is our emergency communications network, specifically for adding channel banks to the existing structure. The project covered upgrades in Yanceyville, Pelham, and so forth. Currently, the county has no financial investment in the project as the grant was fully funded with no cost sharing requirements. There is a balance of $33,936.91 remaining. We've requested and received approval from the state to use the remaining funds to purchase portable radio batteries and additional radio equipment that integrates with the tower system. That will allow increased or improved communication between first responders in the field. And so you have the budget amendment. This is to appropriate fund balance for that grant and spend those funds in that way.
Questions? We have a motion to approve it.
Make a motion.
Motion from Commissioner Smith,
Second.
second from Commissioner Ingram. Any discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item 12, Budget Amendment number 22 to appropriate Cooperative Extension Special Revenue Fund.
Cooperative Extension has restricted revenue streams that we maintain in a special revenue fund. Those funds have to be used for specific purposes, and the department can only spend those when a budget is approved. This is one of the items that we have been doing some cleanup on for audit. The adopted budget did not include the anticipated appropriations. So this just allows cooperative extension to spend the money as outlined in the budget amendment.
Questions, comments? Have a motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ingram,
Second.
second from Commissioner Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Okay, Budget Amendment number 23.
This
Go
budget,
ahead, go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
this budget amendment is similar to the one that you just approved for cooperative extension. This is for senior services. They also have funds that are maintained in a special revenue fund. These funds, this was part of the cleanup that we've been doing on the 23 audit and have finally figured all of that out. So this would allow them to appropriate those special revenue funds for the items listed in the budget ordinance.
Questions for the county manager? Do I have a motion? We approve.
Make a motion.
Motion from Commissioner Smith,
Second.
second from Commissioner Rose. In the discussion. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Let's see, motion to approve an amendment to the Castle County Board of Commissioners Code of Ethics.
Russell, would you like to do this or you want me to? take it?
Certainly, I'd be glad to.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, as it relates to the closed session, I had reached out to the School of Government for advice and a response on how to deal with matters that are transferred outside the closed session into the public, which involves confidential communications between the board and the county attorney. So I believe all of you have reviewed the email from the School of Government and the response on how the county can modify our current code of ethics to address items or issues that are relayed outside of the closed session. But I do want to give a little bit of background info as to the closed session and how some research and case law indicates that matters inside the closed session that are relayed into the open meetings and into the public are somewhat protected by the freedom of speech. However, there are caveats as outlined in the email from the School of Government. And one of those caveats relates to disclosing personnel information as it relates to county employees. And our state statute 153A-98 covers privacy of employee personnel records. And in this statute, it states that a public official or employee who knowingly, willfully, and with malice permits any person to have access to information contained in a personnel file, except as it is permitted by this section, is guilty of a Class 3 misdemeanor. And there's also been instances of Board of Commissioners here in the state of North Carolina that have been charged with willfully failing to discharge duties. And this is covered under State Statute 14-230. And it states in part that if any county commissioner shall willfully omit, neglect, or refuse to discharge any of the duties of his office, they shall be indicted and shall be found guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor. So it's really a delicate balance between protecting our freedom of speech through the First Amendment of our Constitution and also protecting the sanctity of our closed session and the attorney-client privilege and confidentiality of the board. But at the end of the day, the School of Government made their recommendation, and I concur that we could modify the Code of Ethics based upon the language presented in the agenda packet, if the board so chooses.
Okay. Questions or comments from the board?
Sheriff,
Yes, sir.
I noticed that we did not mention the possibility of censoring a commissioner that discloses closed meeting information. Is that a possibility we should look at?
It's a possibility if the board so chooses, and that would be one of the penalties or consequences of violating the Code of Ethics.
I don't think we can take it lightly, the information discussed in closed sessions relating to economic development, because I do know that a prospect can lose his state grant, his funding, if we allow that his name to get out before it's announced by the governor's office.
Any other questions? Mr. Ingram, Mr. Rose? Mr. County Attorney, just hitting on something that Commissioner Smith said as far as censuring a board member. Does that need to be something that's included in the Code of Ethics?
That is an option, Commissioner Yarborough. If the board wants to state it plainly in the Code of Ethics, then that is an option for this board. And if you wish to move forward with the language that was presented in your agenda packet and add maybe a sentence stating that any violation of the Code of Ethics will result in censuring of that board member, I think that would be appropriate. Or we could wait until the next meeting if you wanted me to articulate that in a better form.
Okay. What's the feeling of the board? You want, as far as the censure part goes, is this something that we want to let the county attorney get fine-tuned, approve what, or vote on what he's presented us tonight, and then let him come back at the next meeting with something concerning censure? Would that work for everybody?
Works for me, but I think this board needs to take it very, very seriously, that the information stays in closed sessions. And it may be best to come back with a formal addition to the personnel policy where we've got another commissioner that can be part of that vote.
Yeah. Okay. So would the board like to move ahead and approve what's been presented tonight? It says board members shall not disclose discussions, information, and any other confidential matters addressed during closed session. Any such disclosure is prohibited under the ethics policy. Everybody's okay with,
Yes, yes,
do I have a motion to approve that?
Motion to approve.
second.
Motion by Commissioner Rose, second by Commissioner Ingram. Any more discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion's approved. And Mr. Johnson, if you would get us something formal in writing.
Glad to.
Thank you, sir. Jail food service contract. Ms. Pascal?
Yes, so the Board of Commissioners approved the initial food service agreement in 2020. The agreement states that the cost of meals increase annually in accordance with the Consumer Price Index. So there is an amendment to the jail service contract to enact this price increase effective January 1. I will say, based on a preliminary estimate, $10,000 with this increase. And I'm not sure that the jail budget will be able to absorb the increase. But we have to move forward with a contract for food. So I'm just giving you that information in full disclosure.
Questions?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Renee, do you think that's primarily because of additional inmates, or is it maybe food inflated more so than the consumer price index?
No, the rate of inflation, well, yes, it could be that the rate of inflation has gone up, but I think it's only 3.6%, which is still a pretty hefty inflation rate. But there have been more inmates. So the number of inmates, as that goes up, so do our costs.
Go ahead.
One other question, does the jail budget for the maximum amount of inmates that they can house at one time?
No, I've done a lot of, we built a jail in my former county,
Mhm.
and I've done a lot of analysis. Jails do not like to be at capacity because it creates operational issues. So they like to stay about 80% or lower of capacity. And you probably wouldn't budget the maximum anyway. You would look at what your prior year history would be and then budget based maybe on a slight increase in that number.
Thank you. This, the $10,000 is within our realm to approve without prior discussion.
So the 10,000 is a projection.
Okay.
It could be 9,999.99. So I think, given the fact that we need to move forward with the contract, if the board feels uncomfortable doing that with the rule of procedure that you have, you could suspend the rule
Yeah.
and vote to approve the contract.
What is that dollar amount on what, is it 5,000?
It's 10.
It is 10.
It is 10.
Okay, I couldn't remember. The only reason I asked, I couldn't remember if it was 5 or 10. Okay. Any more questions, County Manager, on this? What's the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved, Commissioner Rose. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Smith. Any more discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign, motion carries. Okay, item 16, special meeting for county manager recruitment. Ms. Pascal.
Yes, so as you know, we're recruiting for a county manager to take the permanent position when I leave in June as interim. And the process includes some dates. The first is a screening of applicants on March 25th at 4 p.m. The second is initial review is March 25th at 4 p.m. The week of April 7th is for screening those applications, which I'm recommending that be done in conjunction or right ahead of the work session at 4 p.m. on April 7th. And then we had tentatively scheduled the week of April 14th for interviews. Given the fact that we have one vacancy and one commissioner out with health issues, we may want to move the interview process until that vacancy is filled and Commissioner Holt is able to rejoin the meetings. So we may not want to set those interview dates yet. But I am asking you set March 25th at 4 p.m. and April 7th at 4 p.m. as special meetings.
That work for everybody? Calendar work, March the 25th and April the 7th, and the time for the interviews is still to be determined. That work? Have a motion to approve those 2 dates?
Make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Smith. Second, Commissioner Rose. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. County manager updates.
Yes, I should have just stayed up there, right? I want to bring a couple of things to your attention. So I was told today by John Sharp that we have addressed all questions asked by the auditors for the fiscal 23 audit. They are going to start working on financials, so we should see financial statements. So we should see that report from the auditors in a short amount of time. I do want to, this is kind of a surprise to me as well, but there is a joint meeting with the towns this week, this Thursday at 6 o'clock in Milton. And that's all I have. Thank you.
County attorney updates, Mr. Johnston.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. As it relates to Tazewell County Delinquent Tax Collection Program, I just wanted to update the board on a final bid in the civil action involving Tazewell County versus Fixed Pads Holdings LLC, filed in file number 24 CVD 184 in our Tazewell County District Court Division. We had a final bid and sale and in the amount of $30,413.67. All the delinquent taxes will be paid in full, and there will be a net surplus of almost $22,000 to the owners. And we hope to finalize that deed and transaction this week. And we have another pending tax foreclosure also in Tazewell County District Court in file number 24 CVD 379. And it's entitled Tazewell County versus Amy Lynn Murrell. And this property went up for sale on February 21st. And we currently have, there have been multiple upset bids, and the current outstanding bid is in the amount of $8,230.02. And the last day for the upset bid is March 24th, 2025. And I'll have additional updates for you in the closed session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnston. Okay, Commissioner comments, Commissioner Gwynn, Commissioner Ingram,
Nothing, sir.
Commissioner Rose,
I don't even think, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Smith.
I do have a comment and a question. I wanted to thank your Finance Department for the hard work they put in to get us to this point on 2023. And my question is, are we able to double up now 2024? I know we've got a lot of that work done, but can we shift focus to that and if we get it knocked out as well.
Yes, so John is already working on the 24. I mean, we'd already cleaned up a lot of things that are going to lead to that being a much smoother process. But yes,
Right.
we're going to transition right into 24.
Also, I noticed in a memo that you sent out last week that we're not eligible for the white goods disposal tax because we're behind. How much money are we looking at there?
I'll need to get back to you.
Sorry. Thank you.
Two or three things. First, I'd like to thank RD. We're glad to be back in here with a new heating and air conditioning unit. And if you all hadn't noticed, it's running, but it's a lot quieter than what we're used to. A lot quieter. So RD, thank you for your hard work on that. I did get the opportunity to speak with Commissioner Holt this morning. He is improving. He had told me that he would not be here tonight, but he was going to try to start back as soon as possible. He didn't promise the next meeting, but he thought he would be back sooner rather than later. And I told him we'd be glad to have him back. And the last thing that I have, about a week or 10 days ago, I'm not exactly sure on the date, Commissioner Smith contacted me about filling in for Commissioner Holt on Economic Development Committee. This is one committee that meets on a regular basis. All committees are important, but this is one that kind of stands out. I told Commissioner Smith it would be fine, and if he caught any flack, to direct it my way. If I overstepped my authority by doing that, I apologize to the board, but these are positions that board members agree to. These are not committee appointments. There are committee appointments on all these committees, but the commissioners just agree to sit on certain boards, and I thought it was worthwhile to have a commissioner at that meeting. When Commissioner Holt returns, if he's willing and able, he will resume that position. Having said that, how does the board feel about my actions? That's what I'm getting to. Is the board okay with it? Is it something you would rather I consult with the entire board on, or how would you like if it comes up again in the future? What's the board's thoughts?
I have no issue with it, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Ingram?
No, sir, I didn't have.
I'm good. Okay, all right. So hearing what I'm hearing, if I'm not misinterpreting, if this issue or something similar comes up again and someone volunteers to fill in for a commissioner that cannot be there, it's okay if I say, yeah, go ahead. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Upcoming events, we will have, as we just talked about, special meeting on the 25th concerning new county manager, April the 7th. Another special meeting before our regular work session at 4 p.m. here in the courthouse. Let's see, the 21st regular meeting here at the courthouse. And Mr. Pascal, the joint meeting is this Thursday, am I correct? 20th?
Yes, at 6.
Okay. Who can go? I know, Mr. Rose, you said you couldn't go.
I
Greg, you
can.
can go?
Yes,
I
sir.
can make it.
Okay. I'm gonna try to be there as well. All right,
So how many was
3.
3? Thank you.
All right. Closed session to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged. North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11 subsection A subsection 3 to consider the qualifications, competence, performance, character, fitness, conditions of appointment, or conditions of initial employment of an individual public officer or employee or prospective public officer or employee, or to hear or investigate a complaint, charge, or grievance by or against an individual public officer or employee allowed under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11 subsection A subsection 6, and to discuss matters relating to the location or expansion of industries or other businesses in the area served by the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged in General Statutes 143, 318.11 subsection A, subsection 4. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
Motion.
Motion from
Second.
Commissioner Rose, second from Commissioner Smith. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign, we sit in closed session.